everybody from Quantico, the Marine Corps base in Virginia. I am very honored to be here with Lieutenant General Steve Olmsted, who has, of course, played such an instrumental role in building this monument dedicated to those who served in the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir, also known as the Chosin Few. So, Lieutenant General, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, Hannah. Let me introduce my more than able assistant in everything I do down there. And George Shadell was with me in Korea, so.
Oh. In 19...
We weren't shoulder to shoulder, we were on the other sides of the hill.
Wow. So he's wearing, Grandpa George is wearing a shirt that says the Chosin Few Korea, November 1950 to December. So what took place, what happened during November of 1950, sir?
I'm trying to use polite words, but the bucket hit the fan. And the Chinese, of course, came across the Yalu, and they were moving down through the mountains. And the 1st Marine Division was establishing a main supply route to support their going north. And that main supply route actually went from Hungnam to Ham Hung, up into the mountains to Kotari. Hagaru was where the base of the reservoir was. And then on up to Udamni, and we were stretched out quite a way. Our commanding general, O.P. Smith, was a brilliant leader, and he says, I'm going to need some more support. So he had his engineers make a runway down at Hagaru and a smaller one down at Kotari so we could be resupplied.
You said you were a private at the time?
Well, I was a private first class.
Private first class, sorry. I think you're explaining a battle that's maybe explained here.
Well, let me tell you, when we started the idea to have this, the one thing that we decided we had to have is the Star of Kotari. And that's the star you see up there.
Wait, what is that Star of?
Kotari.
Kotari.
You'll see it in a minute.
Okay.
And
is that
when we were moving out, when we were attacking in a different direction, as General Smith said, when we were attacking in a different direction so that we could get out and get down to Ham Hung to be evacuated, we had a lot of snowstorms, and which inhibited, if not prohibited, any aircraft supporting us for about 2 or 3 days there. And as we were coming down from Udamni to Hagaru and then on down to Kotari, the 3rd town, about 1 o'clock in the morning, the skies cleared. And that was a wonderful feeling because the next day we had the sky full of Marine and Navy and other aircraft supporting us. So when we decided to have this, we said the theme has to be the Star of Kotari.
It looks like a G.
Is
that a C?
CF is Chosin Few.
Duh. Oh, wow. Wow.
You asked about money. This was all done by subscription. The U.S. government, they didn't pay for anything. This is all done by subscription.
Can you show us?
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I think it's important that we know. Originally, the star was all we had, and many people are authors of successful things. One of them is sitting right there. She put the first one on a pedestal.
Oh,
and then,
of course she is Miss Vera Meade Olmsted, the wife of...
She made the first drawing that we had. We took it to our chapter, and it was pretty much approved as that. And I also took it to the chapter up in New York, and the only change they wanted, the New Yorkers, they wanted snow on it someplace. And we didn't get the snow.
Well, it was a little cold in November 1950 in December.
A little cold. If 35 degrees below is cold, it's cold.
Just a little bit.
So that's the inception of it. Now we needed money to do this, and we did it through subscription. And the Chosin Few detachment in Dallas, Texas, volunteered take over the raising of the money. And they also found an artist that they wanted to incorporate. So, okay, you had that top part so far.
Okay.
And these 8 panels that you see with the wonderful etchings on them.
Okay. It starts here. Is it in chronological order?
Yeah, that's well, not. Yes, it is. That's good.
Okay, that's good.
And
so we'll start here, there, and go this way.
yeah, okay. So if I could finish,
Yes.
when we accepted the offer from the people in Dallas, Texas, to be the collectors of the money, they also came up with an artist who I think you
Mark Bird. Yes, he's the one who suggested I come here.
Yeah. Mark was the artist, and he and his wife are the one that did these panels around here.
Oh yeah, his name's right here, Mark Austin Bird
Yeah.
and Janelle Armstrong Bird.
Okay. So they provided, they raised the money down there. We got help from the Korean government, Veterans Association, not, not government money, but Veterans Association.
So, but I'm more interested actually on. So, for example, the battle took place between November 27, 1950, and December 10th, 1950. Why is it so? I mean, obviously, so many battles took place in the war, but why is this one so significant? I mean, I did my research, but I want to hear it from you. Why you think?
I think 2 things. Make it 3 things.
Okay, 3 things, everybody.
3 things that you have to consider. 1, the enemy. All of a sudden, we were faced with an estimated 120,000 Chinese soldiers coming down from the north through the mountains. 2, the terrain. And you got your hand on the terrain.
So everybody look at this house. It's very mountainous.
They were mountains, beautiful to look at, terrible to be in.
And cold.
And the third one is the climate. And the climate affected everything that George and I had to do. From basic human functions, it was so cold at 35 degrees below zero.
From what I don't know if there's any names here, but what I researched that almost 800 Marines died from this battle, just this battle alone, and 12,000 Marines were wounded. Is there anywhere where they're...
I'm not sure whether we had... Our Medal of Honor winners are over here.
Okay,
And
let's
we'll
go.
end up there, Hannah. You started going right.
Okay, then, well, he said I started going right, so we're going to go this way.
Now, east of Changjiang, picture, if you will, a lake or a reservoir about 28 miles long, surrounded by high, rugged mountains. East of the reservoir, the U.S. Army and the 31st Regiment was going up there. They were to go up and the Marines were going to go up on the left side. And so when it hit the fan, we all had to deploy back.
This is so real.
Yeah, they had a really tough time over
Mark did a very
there.
good job depicting this.
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful job.
I mean, look at the detail on this one, everybody. Fair, can you show this one? I mean, like, is he being dragged right now? Is that what it's depicting? Somebody being dragged?
It's a body.
Yeah, and he's
pulling him out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Be on the ice, huh?
Whoa!
No, they actually, Hannah. They actually, when their retrograde, they went out on the ice, and Marines and others went out to get them off the ice, to bring them back as best they could.
Okay, there's itsy bitsy spiders.
You and me now, if you can remember what I said. That was the furthest north township or place that we got the Marines got to, and
wow. Okay, and Tokdong Pass. To me, this is very significant as well because obviously the army side, the army, the Indian heads, the 8th Army fought alongside you, and
no, the 8th Army, we were separated. The 8th Army was quite a bit west of us. And I have to assume General MacArthur's ultimate plan was for us to join up, but we never did. Fox Hill, Captain Bill Barber, and a real bunch of hard-nosed, gung-ho heroes held Fox Hill, so that the people at Tocton Pass allowed everybody who was up at the most northerly area, Udine, to get out.
And it says Hellfire Valley.
Okay.
Okay.
This is international.
Oh.
Okay. Hellfire Valley was, again, 3 towns I'm talking about. Coterie, Hagaru at the base of the reservoir, and Udine. So you got them coming out of Udine, coming down. General Smith's headquarters was at Hagaru, and he needed some reinforcements in a hurry. Specifically, there was a tank organization down at Coterie, and he said, I've got to have those tanks in yesterday, immediately. So it's about 10 miles between the 2 towns, and they formed up a George Company. You just saw it. George Company.
The 1st Marine.
Yeah, and there was another company organized quickly. So those 3 companies started out under the command of Colonel Drysdale, Royal Marine, the Brit. He got wounded, and then Captain Sitter, a U.S. Marine, took over. And we had to get our unit, a combined unit of about 500 men, and the tanks. This was the key, the tanks. We had to get those tanks up to Hagaru. And so that's what it was all about. But as a young PFC, I felt it was kind of like a Wild West cowboy movie. Because we were stopped by roadblocks. And Colonel Drysdale asked the general, do you still want us to come? And he says, you have to come under any circumstances. So the command was, hi diddle diddle, here we go. And the bad guys were right on the other side of that wall in some places. And so we raced up, shooting them as best we could on the way to get the tanks up to Hagaru.
How old were you?
I think my 20th birthday was there. Yeah.
It must have been, people don't really think soldiers, and then they think, grown up adults, going and fighting with these rifles, but you were babies, really, at today's standards.
I was even younger.
Oh, how old were you?
I just turned 18.
I mean, I would have been so scared. I'm scared that my cousin, who's 18 and who's in the army, would have to ever hold a rifle. That scares me, but I do recognize these hats. These are not American uniforms.
That's right, those are berets.
Exactly. And Haguri.
Right. Hagaru was kind of the lynch. Everybody had to get to Hagaru to come out.
Oh.
And that's where we organized, as General Smith said, an attack in a different direction. And we started coming out of Hagaru.
Oh, well, this is
wait a minute.
They're the enemy.
See, this is the reservoirs up in here. And this little town is down there.
If you come here now, this is the Chinese uniform, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's his burp gun.
Okay. Wow. I mean, the expression, and I guess for the sake of also, because I want to be respectful of your time, but Coterie is...
All right, so, okay, now we've got out of Hagaru and moving down to Coterie.
Okay.
And we got to Coterie. That was the last town or village that were just south of Coterie, 5 miles, was a bridge. I thought we had a bridge. Is there a bridge here?
Oh, it was down at Footshill.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a bridge.
Okay, and this chasm, and I'm not exaggerating, was frightening deep. Estimated, somebody said 1,000 feet. And to get over there, they put in these treadway. Can you see this? Here is this 1,000-foot chasm going down like this. And the Chinese had blown the bridge that was there, so the American forces put these treadway bridges in there, about 18 inches wide, just wide enough to make sure that the tanks and the trucks, wheels can stay in it. And so then when we got the vehicles and the ammunition out, then we walked across it. And that was quite an experience, looking down and saying, oh my God. Bad enough having 120 baddies looking at you and shooting at you, but you slip there. So that was, we all joke about it. going across
Have you
there.
been back to Korea?
Not up there.
But South Korea,
Oh,
yes.
I've been to South Korea many times.
Wouldn't it be the most chilling thing in the world if the current, peace process it becomes successful and we get the remains back and you get to actually maybe, fist bump.
That is something that George and I and others have really been harping on. We've got to evacuate those guys.
Vision. I'm hoping that every single one of the about 8,000, and I know 5,500 still presumed to be North Korean, to be repatriated. But I just thought maybe it would give so much closure to some of the veterans
It would be wonderful if we
suffered
could.
here. If you can actually visit.
Well, I read that President Moon has already sent some caskets up to the border and things like
Oh,
that. Yeah.
speaking of President Moon, by the way, were you here when he came?
Yes.
Yes, that was June of 2017.
And
So
we planted-
Oh,
We
yes.
planted that tree.
Let's go there. Okay. So everybody, what we're referring to is President Moon Jae-in, of course, of South Korea. He was inaugurated in May of 2017, and the first U.S. official visit, his first official visit as head of state to the United States was here. Even before he went to the White House and met with the president of, the President Trump, he came here. Why? Because his parents were among the 100,000 that were rescued
That's right, yeah.
as a result of your sacrifices, and he planted in return. A tree.
Yeah.
And he's going to show us where that tree is, because there's a lot of trees here.
Tell them the little one.
Okay. Did he bring it from Korea? So again, I'm just gonna walk you and then we'll end here, but this is the tree that was planted. And wow, it says 눈보라 속에서 맺어진 위대한 동맹. This tree is placed in honor of a visit by the President of the Republic of Korea, Moon Jae-in, June 28th, 2017. I unfortunately do not know what kind of tree it is, but do you know what tree this is?
It's a Winter King hawthorn.
Okay, Winter King hawthorn. Do you know what the significance of that may be? I'm sure there.
Resilience and strength.
Oh, says the general, resilience and strength. Well, that is definitely something, a character trait of the Korean people. We are a resilient people, 5,000 years of history, and we still retained our heritage. And of course, we're gonna take you to another monument here, but I like this view right here from where you're standing, because you get the full view of the monument, the Chosun, and the lieutenant is wearing the star of the Chosun.
Star of Coterie.
Star of Coterie, the CF standing for Chosen Few. Again, this is such a special visit during my 50th state, 70 plus 90-day journey across America to honor, thank both of you, and of course those who all gave their lives so that out of the ashes of war, a tree, symbolizing Koreans and the Korean people and the Republic of Korea, was able to grow. So thank you so much, and I will see you at the monument dedicated to Sergeant Reckless.
I've often been asked, what are your thoughts about that war? And you're so lucky to have survived. And the reason I think that we did so well, and we did do well, we stayed together as an organization, we fought and came out, is we were blessed, the young people at that time, here's two right here, we were blessed with outstanding non-commissioned officers. The sergeants, the staff sergeants, and the gunnery sergeants we had as our leaders and most of the officers were genuine leaders with capital L. And when they told you something, you knew that was the right thing. Because they were veterans of Guadalcanal, they were veterans of New Britain, they were veterans of Peleliu and things like that. So if there was any advantage that we had, I think it was the corporals, the sergeants that were giving the last direction to us. My squad leader, and my platoon sergeant, and the first sergeant. To this day, we're three heroes. So those are the guys that led us as leaders under the most difficult of situations. And again, try to imagine yourself sleeping on the ground when it's 35 degrees below zero. And such basic things as digging a foxhole, you couldn't. The ground was frozen solid. But Corporal Pendas, First Sergeant Zulu, guys like that, and guys that were Hector Caffarata, great examples to those of us that were the triggermen, the riflemen. So that's how fortunate we were.
Oh,